1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. The President to chair the weekly Cabinet meeting this afternoon. The Constitutional Council to meet for the second time. The Prime Minister suggests appointing honorary consuls to promote Destination Sri Lanka. The chairman of NEC seeks the President's intervention to provide necessary support to conduct the local government election. The government allocates 16 billion rupees to purchase fertilizer for the 2022-23 Maha season. The Ministry of Education issues a notice on the competitive examination for the recruitment of graduates in the public services teachers. The Met Department warns rare Bay of Bengal system will approach the eastern coast of Sri Lanka tomorrow. The police says a total of 2,485 individuals succumbed to death due to accidents in 2022. In foreign news, Germany's Chancellor denounces bidding war over jets for Ukraine. In sports news, tennis, Novak Djokovic wins the Australian Open to equal Nadal's record. President Ranil Wickremesinghe will chair the weekly Cabinet meeting this afternoon. A number of decisive issues, including efforts to reduce cost of living further, supply chain issues, as well as short supply of medicines, will be deliberated during today's meeting. The Cabinet is scheduled to convene at the Presidential Secretariat. Meanwhile, the Constitutional Council will convene once again today. The meeting will be held under the patronage of the Speaker of the House, Mahinda Yapa Abewardena, at the Parliamentary Complex. Only 9 members have been appointed to the 10-member body thus far. The Constitutional Council convened for the first time on the 25th of January. The Council was reconstituted following the enactment of the 21st Amendment to the Constitution. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says the tourism industry is the one that can give strongest help to the Sri Lankan economy and called on the stakeholders to take innovative steps for its growth. He said tourism can generate the vital foreign exchange to the country. Speaking at the Golden Jubilee of the Blue Oceanic Beach Hotel of the Jetwing Hotels in Negombo, he stressed the need for the government to build a network of honorary consuls and representatives abroad to introduce and promote Destination Sri Lanka in collaboration with the stakeholders of the tourism industry and the hospitality sector. Premier Gunawardena recalled the services rendered by the pioneer Jetwing chairman, the late Herbert Curray, who faced challenges courageously and expanded the hotel group. The chairman of the National Election Commission, Nimal Puncheheva, has requested President Ranil Wickremesinghe to strengthen the security accorded to the members of the commission. The Election Commission chairman has written to the President following reports of its members receiving death threats. A senior spokesperson of the Election Commission said the election chief also requested the intervention of the President to obtain the support of all state bodies to conduct a fair and free election. Chairman Puncheheva is of the view that some state institutions are not fully supporting the efforts of the Commission to conduct the upcoming local authorities election. The Election Commission has already announced that it will conduct the local authorities election on the 9th of March. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and we continue with local news. The Ministry of Education has issued a notice regarding the competitive examination for the recruitment of graduates to the Sri Lanka Teachers Service for the Sinhala, Tamil and English medium teacher vacancies in the national and provincial schools. Interested candidates must submit applications online through applications.donets, doenets.lk/exam. A land belonging to the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation in Kuchiveli in Trincomalee was ceremoniously handed over to 3W Energy Management Private Incorporated this morning. It is expected to generate 100 megawatts of solar power on a land extending 270 acres. Representing the company, Mr. Mohammed A. Hussain was present at the formalities conducted at the Ananda Kumaratunga Auditorium at the SLBC. The Minister of Mass Media, Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, along with the Chairman of the SLBC, Mr. Hudson Samarasinha, State Secretaries and other dignitaries graced the occasion. The project will generate a monthly revenue of 20 million rupees for the corporation. That ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The government has allocated 16 billion rupees to purchase organic fertilizer needed for the farmers in the 2022-23 Maha season. Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Amarweera said despite the economic crisis, he received the full backing of the President to pass the cabinet paper, which was prepared to secure funds to purchase the fertilizer. Minister Amarweera noted that the present government has taken all measures to support the farmers in order for them to have a successful Maha season. The minister made these assertions during a meeting with a group of trade union representatives.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
We take a look at Watchlight. The police says a total of 2,485 individuals died in motor accidents reported across the country in 2022. The Police Media Division said in total 19,740 road accidents, including 2,371 fatal accidents, were reported last year. A majority of those accidents involved motorcycles. Police noted that most of the accidents were a result of driving or riding at high speed, and that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines. Germany's Chancellor denounces bidding war over jets for Ukraine. The U.S. Secretary of State arrives in Egypt as Israeli-Palestinian tensions soar. Rio Tinto apologizes as search for radioactive capsule continues. Chancellor Olaf Scholz has again pushed back against demands in Germany and from Ukrainian officials for fighter jets to repel Russia's invasion, urging Western nations not to join a bidding war for sophisticated weapons. Last week, Germany announced it will deliver its Leopard 2 battle tanks to Ukraine after weeks of pressure from NATO and European Union allies. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky again asked Western nations to provide his country with more high-end weapon systems in his daily address on Saturday. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has arrived in Egypt at the start of a 3-day Middle East visit, with Israeli-Palestinian tensions escalating and Russia's war in Ukraine and Iran's nuclear program high on his agenda. After stop in Cairo, Blinken will travel today and tomorrow to Jerusalem and Ramallah, where he will meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, respectively. Blinken's trip has been planned with Netanyahu's new right-wing government being the focal point, as concerns over the future of Israel's direction and stalled peace talks with the Palestinians loomed large. Mining giant Rio Tinto has apologized as the search continues for a tiny radioactive capsule that went missing while it was being taken to a storage facility in Perth, triggering a radiation alert in parts of Western Australia. The silver-colored capsule, just 6 millimeters wide and 8 millimeters long, was lost as it was being transported from Rio Tinto's Guadari mine near Newman in the remote Kimberley region to a storage facility some 1,400 kilometers away in Perth. It is unclear how long the tiny capsule, which contains caesium-137, a radioactive isotope that emits radiation equal to 10 into rays per hour, has been missing. To end this bulletin of world news, headlines again. Germany's Chancellor denounces bidding war over jets for Ukraine. The US Secretary of State arrives in Egypt as Israeli-Palestinian tensions soar. Rio Tinto apologizes as search for radioactive capsule continues. That ends this bulletin of world news.
Development news.
The government is considering constructing an elevated metro railway line running from Colombo Port to Nikambo. According to the Highways Ministry, during a discussion on the matter, Minister of Transport and Highways, Bandula Ganwadana, has issued necessary advice on the proposed elevated metro railway line. The company proposing the elevated metro train has proposed to also develop the 25 stations on the way, spanning a distance of 41 kilometers, while constructing the metro rail track. The company has also proposed to bear an investment of $2.5 billion for this project.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Sports tennis. Novak Djokovic won a record extending 10th Australian Open and a record equaling 22nd Grand Slam men's title by using all of his talent to see off Stefanos Tsitsipas. Serbia's Djokovic started strongly and dug deep in the second set on his way to 6-3, 7-6, 7-4, 7-6, 7-5 victory. The 35-year-old, who draws level with Rafael Nadal in major wins, will return to the world number 1 ranking. Greece's Tsitsipas, aged 24, continues his wait for a first Grand Slam triumph. And now we take a look at cricket. An inspired India won the first Women's Under-19 World Cup by thrashing England in a one-side final in South Africa. In the face of high-quality bowling and an exceptional fielding performance, England struggled on the big occasion and were bowled out for just 68. When the final run came, the Indian players charged onto the field in celebration of cricket's superpower's first victory in a Women's World Cup. That was Sports News.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekat life eke change ekat niyamata set wenna as wahagena dagpuhina habe karanna youth ekat niyamata set wenna friendship ek menna.
The all-new NSB Itru account. NSB I Am, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Multi Award-winning veteran Indian actor Ashish Vidyarthi, known for his roles as a villain and many other roles in Bollywood, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada and Bengali, has arrived in Sri Lanka on a special mission to support Sri Lanka's tourism industry by creating positive impressions with international tourists, including fellow Indians. He was invited by the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau to promote the tourism industry in Sri Lanka and encourage more international. Calling his tour to Sri Lanka Let's Lanka, Ashish Vidyarthi has already shared a clip on social media on his arrival to Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan hospitality partners include Golfes Hotel, Alia Resort and Spa supported Sri Lanka tourism.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekat life eke change ekat niyamata set wenna as wahagena dagpuhina habe karanna youth ekat niyamata set wenna friendship ek menna.
The all-new NSB Itru account. NSB I Am, a plan for your dream.
Economic news. The Ministry of Finance has decided to impose a 10 rupees special commodity levy on a kilogram of maize imported for animal feed production. The ministry said the special commodity levy is applicable for imports between the 26th of January and the 25th of February. That was economic news. And finally, we take a look at the weather report.
Weather report.
The weather report. The Met Department warns that a well-marked low-pressure area over the southeast Bay of Bengal is likely to move west-northwestwards towards the eastern coast of Sri Lanka tomorrow. The Met Department said rainy conditions over the island will increase due to its effect from this evening. It said showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the northern, eastern, over north central and central provinces. Heavy showers, about 150 millimeters, are likely at some places. Meanwhile, the Met Department forecasts showers or thunder showers to occur at a few places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Kandy, Nuwara, Kalutara, Galle and Mathura districts during the afternoon or at night. Moreover, the Weather Bureau requests the general public to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. To end this afternoon's news broadcast,